Hello everyone, welcome to Decode ITES. This is a single learning platform for multiple IT infrastructure technologies. Do like, share and subscribe our channel to never miss out our videos. Let's continue with the learning. Let's have a small introduction of myself. My name is Prince Garg. I'm having 3 plus years of work experience and worked on Red Hat, VMware, Windows, Google Cloud, PowerShell, Python and Bash scripting. Kindly follow us on Facebook, Insta, LinkedIn, and reach out to us on itesfund.com. Welcome back everyone to the learning of virtualization with the VMware under the Decode ITS. In this lesson, I will teach you about the introduction to Hypervisor. Let's continue. So the first question is, what is a hypervisor? A hypervisor, also known as a virtual machine monitor, or you can say VMM, is a software that creates and runs virtual machines. A hypervisor allows one host computer to support multiple guest virtual machines by virtually sharing its resources, such as memory or processing units. A hypervisor is computer software or hardware that enables you to host multiple virtual machines. Each virtual machine is able to run its own programs. A hypervisor allows you to access several virtual machines that are all working optimally on a single piece of computer hardware. For the most part, cloud computing entails you being able to access a virtual machine for you to be able to do what you need to do anywhere. A hypervisor manages these virtual machines. With a hypervisor, each virtual machine or operating system you have will be able to run its own programs, as it will appear that the system has the host hardware's processor, memory, and resources. In reality, however, it is actually the hypervisor that is allocating those resources to the virtual machines. So under the virtualization, we can see like we can host multiple machines under the single hardware. If you can look out to the diagram, here is a traditional architecture where we are having the hardware layer and then the operating system and then the application which we like to run. So under the single hardware, we are able to run only one operating system at a time and also the single application as well. You can host multiple applications, but that is limited to the single operating system only. If we look out to the virtual architecture, this is showing that under the hardware layer, like over the top of the hardware layer, we are having the VMware operating system. We cannot say that it is an operating system, it is a bare metal hypervisor which doesn't require a operating system. There are two kinds of you can say virtualization solutions, or you can say like the virtualization techniques available in the market. We'll discuss this later. But apart from this, like over the top of the VMware solution, we are having multiple operating systems and multiple apps running on them. So it virtualizes many virtual machines using hypervisor technology. Why use a hypervisor? Hypervisors make it possible to use more of a system's available resources and provide greater IT mobility since the guest VMs are independent of the host hardware. This means they can be easily moved between different servers because multiple virtual machines can run off of one physical server with a hypervisor. A hypervisor reduces space, energy, and maintenance requirements. So let's talk about the types of hypervisor in the market. The two type of hypervisors. The type 1, which is also called as the bare metal or the native hypervisor. It runs directly on the system hardware. We can say a bare metal embedded hypervisor. If you can look out to the diagram, for the type 1 hypervisor, we are having the host hardware where we are having storage, memory, and processor, all of them there. Then we are having the hypervisor layer directly. There is no operating system in between them. And above them we are having operating systems and the applications installed under them. For the type 2 hypervisor, which is also known as hosted hypervisors, it runs on a host operating system that provides virtualization services such as input-output device support and memory management. If we look out to the type 2 hypervisor diagram, we can see here is the host hardware, then there is a operating system layer, and then there is the same architecture like the type 1 hypervisor, that hypervisor, and then the operating system under which the applications are running. For the type 1 hypervisor, this is when the hypervisors are run on the host hardware to control it as well as the manage the virtual machine on it. If we are currently using Microsoft Hyper-V hypervisor, VMware ESX, or you can say ESXi, Oracle VM Server for x86, KVM, which is the Linux-based bare metal solution, or the Citrix Xen server, then this is the type of hypervisor which you are working with right now. If we look out through the performance, it's given that the type 1 hypervisor is relatively simple and they do not offer many functionalities. Once we boot up a physical server with bare metal hypervisor installed on it, it displays a command prompt like screen. If we can't connect to the monitor to the server, we get some hardware and network details only. This consists of CPU type, amount of memory and IP address, also the MAC addresses. We can see this while we install and run the hypervisor. Another type 1 hypervisor may look different but could also only allow for simple server configuration. This consists of changing date, time, IP address, passwords, etc. In order to create virtual instance, we need to use a management console setup on another machine. Using the console, we can connect to the hypervisor on the server and manage the virtual environment. One of the best features of hypervisor is that they allow over the allocation of physical resources. Like with the type 1 hypervisor, we can assign more resources to a virtual machine than we are actually having. Example, we are having 128 gigs of RAM on our server and we have created 8 virtual machines. We can assign 24 GB of RAM to each of them. This totals 192 gigs of RAM, but VM themselves will not actually consume all 24 GB. The VM think they are having 24 GB in reality. They only use the amount of RAM they need to perform the particular task. Let's talk about the type 2 hypervisor. These hypervisor are run as a software using an operating system such as Windows, Linux or FreeBSD. This is what the Vertage hypervisor, VirtualBox and VMware Workstation are classified as. So native hypervisors run directly on the hardware, while hosted, a hypervisor needs an operating system to do its work. Which one is better? Like it depends on what you are after. The bare metal hypervisor are faster and more efficient as they do not need to go through the operating system and other layers that usually make hosted environment slower. The type 1 hypervisor are also more secure than type 2 hypervisor. Hosted hypervisor on other hand are much easier to set up than bare metal hypervisor because you have an operating system to work with and these are also compatible with a broad range of hardwares. So like if we talk about more on the type 2 hypervisor, this type of hypervisor runs inside an operating system of a physical host machine. This is why we call as two type hypervisor and hosted hypervisor. And opposed to the type 1 hypervisor that run directly on the hardware, hosted hypervisor have one software layer underneath. In this case, we are having physical machine, then the operating system, then the type 2 hypervisor, then the actual instance of the virtual machines. So what are the difference between like if we consider type 1 and type 2 hypervisor? The most commonly deployed type of hypervisor is the type 1, or we can say bare metal hypervisor, where virtualization software is installed directly on the hardware where the operating system is normally installed. And because bare metal hypervisor are isolated from the attack-prone operating system, they are extremely secure. In addition, they generally perform better and more efficiently than hosted hypervisor. For these reasons, most enterprise companies choose bare metal hypervisor for data center computing needs. Also, while bare metal hypervisor run directly on the computing hardware, hosted hypervisor run on the top of the operating system of the host machine. Although hosted hypervisor run with the OS additional like operating system can be installed on the top of the hypervisor, the downside of hosted hypervisor is that latency is higher than bare metal hypervisor. This is because the communication between hardware and hypervisor must pass through the extra layer of OS. Hosted hypervisors are sometimes known as client hypervisor because they are most often used with end users and software testing, where higher latency is a less of concern. If we look about the hardware acceleration technology that can create and manage virtual resources faster by booting the processing speed for both bare metal and hosted hypervisor. A type of hardware accelerator known as a virtual dedicated graphics accelerator VDGA that takes care of sending and refreshing high-end 3D graphics. This fills up the main system for other tasks and greatly increases the display speed of images. For industries such as oil and gas exploration, where there is no need to quickly visualize complex data, this technology can be very useful. Both the type of hypervisor can run multiple virtual server for multiple tenants on one virtual machine, or we can say the physical machine. Public cloud service providers lease server space on different virtual server to different companies. One server might host several virtual servers that are all running workloads for different companies. This type of resources sharing can result in a noisy neighbor effect. When one of the tenants run a large workload that interferes with the server performance for other tenants, it also poses more of a security risk than using a dedicated bare metal server. A bare metal server that a single company has full control over will always provide higher performance than a virtual server that is sharing a physical server's bandwidth, memory, and processing power with the virtual machines it's having. The hardware for bare metal server can also be optimized to increase the performance, which is not the case with shared public servers. Businesses that need to comply with regulations that require physical separation of resources will need to use their own bare metal servers that do not share resources with other tenants. So let's take a look to the benefits of using hypervisor. There are four benefits: speed, efficiency, flexibility, and portability. So let's talk about the speed. Hypervisors allow virtual machine to be created instantly. Unlike bare metal servers, this makes it easier to provision resources as needed for dynamic workloads. Let me clear this out, don't get confused between the bare metal server and bare metal hypervisor. Both means the same but in a different way. Like for the bare metal hypervisors, we are installing hypervisor or the virtualization technology to the hardware only. There is no operating system layer. And the bare metal servers are the physical servers. In the layman language, you can say that it is a physical server where we are installing the operating system to the hardware itself. Second benefit is efficiency. Hypervisors that run several virtual machines on one physical machine's resources also allow for more efficient utilization of one physical server. It is more cost and energy efficient to run several virtual machines on one physical machine, then to run multiple underutilized physical machine for the same task. Flexibility. Bare metal hypervisors allow operating system and their associated applications to run on a variety of hardware types. And because the hypervisor separates the OS from the underlying hardware, so the software no longer relies on a specific hardware device or drivers. The last benefit which we will talk about it is portability. Hypervisors allow multiple operating systems to reside on the same physical server, the host machine. Because the virtual machine that the hypervisor runs are independent from the physical machine, they are portable. IT teams can shift workload and allocate networking, memory, storage, and processing resource across multiple servers as needed, moving from machine to machine or platform to platform. When an application needs more processing power, the virtualization software allows it to seamlessly access additional machines. So that's all with the introduction to Hypervisor. I hope you have understand well. If you're having any queries related to this topic or any other topic, you can just reach out to us on itsfund.com or you can drop a comment in the comment section below. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Do like, share and comment our videos. Also subscribe to our channel.